All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the I Don't Know Shit About Boxing show. It was the late, great Roger Mayweather who once said famously, most people don't know shit about boxing, and I believe it to be true. Even some of us who are the most hardcore fans, at the end of the day, we make these predictions boldly, sometimes arrogantly, sometimes with our egos, sometimes, with our I guess best judgment, but our biases as well. And when they don't come true, because anything can happen in boxing, it really proves that, what, at the end of the day, maybe we don't know shit about boxing. So I like to take it more of a little humble approach, kind of look at all aspects of everything before really dying on a certain hill. And that's what we're doing today. Listen, man, we have something today. First of all, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that subscription notification bell. Tomorrow we have a full day of fights. If you haven't seen my breakdown with King Amin of Essex, make sure you go back, check out my previous episode from yesterday. We had a great episode featuring a breakdown of all the fights we got tomorrow. We got Michaela Mayer versus Alicia Baumgartner, Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. We have the PBC card featuring Caleb Plant versus Anthony Durrell, Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius, and of course, the rematch between Devin Haney versus George Kambosos over in Australia on the top rank side of things. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about today the fight for tomorrow in England that was postponed. This might be the biggest plot twist that I've ever seen in boxing. Now, we have the co-main and the main event, which are headlined by two female fights. I'm pretty sure the whole card is female, but we have actually a bunch of history between Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall in that, they fought in the amateurs. They were both undefeated now as professionals. Clarissa and many others consider Clarissa the GOAT, the greatest woman of all time in boxing. But the last person to hold a victory over her was Savannah Marshall in the amateurs. Now they're the completely different fighters now. So they have a lot of beef, but in the co-main event, we see a lot of beef as well. It might be even more beef than the main event. And this is just something that's brewed. I don't know where. There's a lot of animosity between them. But of course, we're going to go ahead and break that down. So first, let's get into the Michaela Mayer versus Alicia Baumgartner prediction. Yesterday on the show, I talked to King Amin, and I had mentioned that I really don't have a horse in this race. Me and him both on the Boxing Voice podcast interviewed Alicia Baumgartner. She was great. I'm definitely a fan of Michaela Mayer as well, her output, her boxing skills and capabilities. But I'm just looking forward to a good fight. If I were to lean one way or the other, usually when it's that pure boxer versus somebody who has more of a boxer puncher style, usually the boxer's going to win. But that's not necessarily the case. And especially when there's fights where emotions are high, sometimes those emotions can get the better of the fighters, especially the better of the boxer. Now, I bring that up because I want to go ahead and share with you guys the weigh-in video from yesterday. We'll go ahead and play this. A lot of people are commenting saying that they think finally from this, all the antics that have been going on, the back and forth, the bickering, the cat fighting, that this right here just showed that Alicia is in Michaela's head. They're getting in each other's face. Of course, as usual, boom, throws the kick. We'll go back to that one more time. So Alicia pushes her off just barely. You know what I mean? Because they got the belts in the hands. And Michaela didn't like that, so she throws a kick at her. Of course, later she said, my hands were occupied because I got 3 belts, so I had to throw a kick. But it was one of those kind of, when you're in an argument, you have to get the last word. I feel like that's what it was. She couldn't deal with her pushing her and letting Alicia get the last little bit, so she had to throw that kick out there. Now, does that mean that she's going to lose because she's going to lose her cool? No, it does. If we're going to speculate, and a lot of people are speculating, does this add to the theory and hypothesis that Michaela Mayer may be, getting emotional about this fight? Is Alicia Baumgartner in Michaela Mayer's head? I think that's the real question here. And I think that video doesn't prove, but provides evidence towards that theory. I'm not saying that it's true. I'm just saying if you believe in that theory, that's a bit of evidence to help your theory. And who knows, maybe it will be, maybe we'll see that. And then if it is, maybe we'll see a much more interesting fight. Sometimes people, they get in the fight and they respect each other a little too much, and you see a little bit of a lackluster fight. I really hope that these girls just go at it the way they've been going at it leading up to the fight. So I'm excited for that fight, of course. But I want to get to the biggest plot twist that I think I've ever seen. I think this is a first in boxing, right? And of course, I'm asking, were Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall once lovers? Were they screwing each other? Did they have sex with each other? Let's go ahead and play this, because we did this whole episode yesterday, and whenever you guys comment on this, I can see the comments live, and sometimes I decide, hey, you know what, I like that comment, and I can provide it just as you see this on the bottom here. I can put the comment on the screen. We got a comment yesterday while we were live, and somebody said, oh, why aren't you guys talking about how they were banging? And I saw it in real time, and I thought, dude, what's wrong with people? Like, why would somebody comment that? And I just brushed it off, because there's a lot of times people are trolling, especially on the internet, especially on YouTube. And then as soon as I get off the podcast, of course, I see what this guy was talking about. I thought it was a joke. So let's go ahead and play this, and y'all tell me what you think.
We obviously do. The fact that our one got us here.
Yeah, sure.
The fact that we were both screwing each other got us here.
I didn't have sex with you.
You did.
It's the fact that I even gave you attention. I had to build
You're joking. You lost the plot.
I had to build
Your bed
you
fell
up.
off.
Okay. So part of this is just inaudible because of her accent. If you have this accent or can understand this accent, please somebody translate this for me. But the parts that were audible, that you could hear.
Obviously do. The fact that our one got us here.
Yeah, sure.
The fact that we were both screwing each other got us here.
I didn't have sex with you.
You did.
It's the fact that I even gave you attention.
So as soon as she goes, I didn't have sex with you, you hear her immediately. You hear Savannah Marshall immediately. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Very confidently. And the way that Clarissa is, and look, I'm no behavioral psychologist. I'm no facial expert recognition. You know what I mean? So take what I'm saying as a grain of salt. Remember, at the end of the day, I don't know shit about boxing, but when you look at this, who do you believe in this situation? Now, there's a chance that Clarissa's like, what are you talking about? Are you just making this up? And maybe Savannah practiced this line so many times that it's coming off so quickly, right? There's a possibility for that. I want to explore all possibilities here, but it looks more likely to me that Savannah's telling the truth. Listen how quickly she refutes the denial.
Both screaming each other got us here.
I didn't have sex with you.
You did.
It's the fact that I even gave you attention.
She says it twice. You did. And then she goes, the fact that I even gave you attention. So is that saying like, oh, well, I was the one who gave you the attention anyways? I don't know.
I had to build
You're joking. You lost the...
And then now that she's denying it, she's like, oh, you did. Oh, you got to be joking me right now. You're joking. You lost the plot. So I don't know, man.
I had to build
Your bed fell off.
And the way she's looking, she looks very confident in her eyes that she's telling the truth. I don't know. Again, I'm not here to say it was happening. It didn't happen. I don't know. But if it did, this has to be groundbreaking. This has to be a first in boxing history, because obviously this would have to be, some sort of same-sex relationship in fighting where two opponents have had relations with each other. And hold on, I want to show something as well that I thought was quite funny. Um, bear with me just a second. Back on this video, right? If we go to the tweet, somebody comments, Clarissa be like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Dude. Yeah, like I said, man, this has got to be a first. I mean, I don't know what to say, you know? If they did, whatever, who cares? But just the fact that these ladies have had this buildup for so long, there's been so much drama, there's been so much beef. We've had this whole storyline, and this just comes out of nowhere, and this was never part of the storyline. And like I said, this is historic in a way that it's definitely a first. You know what I mean? So if that was, that's pretty crazy. Does it make the fight more interesting? Does it make it less interesting? That's really what I care about. Is it gonna add fuel to this fire of the beef that's already cooking inside the kitchen of Shields versus Marshall? I'm looking forward to the fight. I don't know who's gonna win this fight. Savannah Marshall has that punching power. She's got that size. Clarissa Shields is the GOAT. She's got the skills. So we're just gonna have to see. I'm definitely looking forward to it. But again, man, what do you guys think? Do you think that Savannah Marshall is telling the truth? Do you think she just made it up? Do you think that Clarissa is denying it? I don't know, man. But again, who knows? I don't know shit about boxing, so don't listen to what I say. But anyways, man, make sure you subscribe, you hit that like button, and make sure you tune in tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing some live fight chats, some live fight party, some breakdowns, probably for the co-main event, the main event, maybe for the PBC card, the George Kambosos fight. I might just do all of them. So hit that subscribe so you can join in and comment. And like I said, I could play your comments on the broadcast. So until then, peace.